Another full body training session today. Clean complex to start it off, split clean plus a clean. I'm going to start doing more higher rep complexes, Olympic lifting complexes. I haven't done a lot of that stuff in a while. I've kind of gone away from it. So I'm going to start doing that a little bit more. So anyone who's on Haas Concurrent and you guys watch these videos, expect that kind of stuff starting in November. I'm going to start putting more complexes, higher rep complexes like that in. So anyways, after the clean complex, going to back squat just 2 hard sets of 8. Then I'm going to move on to close grip bench press, work up to a heavy single with a couple back off triples, and then 2 AMRAP sets of behind the neck overhead press. So upper body emphasis. Yeah, I'll just answer some questions in the Q&A between sets of different exercises today. Hopefully I get some good questions that I find that I can give some thorough answers, well thought out answers. Mat that I have, it's 2 pieces of mat that I got from Lowe's. This lip kind of was lifting up, so I gotta move this forward because I don't know if you could see that, but my toe got caught underneath the front mat here, so I'm moving up so that doesn't happen again. Terrible front rack position. Hamstring is almost 100%, but I'm gonna power all of these reps because I did feel it on one of the warm-up sets dropping faster underneath the bar. I did feel it tweak slightly, so I'm gonna power all these. I'm also playing basketball tonight, so I don't wanna aggravate it before basketball. If I hurt it playing basketball, so be it, but I don't wanna hurt it prior to playing and then knowing that I can't play beforehand. All right, 140 kilos here. There's a good weight today. I'll stay here for a few more sets. Hey, Will, I recently asked this on an old video of yours, so in case you didn't see it, would you still recommend sprinting and jumping as a way to develop explosiveness in athletes who don't run or jump in their sports? Should I still be incorporating sprints / plyos, or are there better movements for me to work on in my gym training? Absolutely do sprints and plyos, even if your sport doesn't call for it. The impulses, the forces that you're going to experience doing sprinting can't be matched doing anything else. It just provides a stimulus that can't be matched doing anything else. That's going to provide tons of value for you regardless of the sport you're playing. Same with a lot of plyos. Bounding, straight-legged bounding, linear bounding, various broad jump, triple jump, various plyos like that. Yeah, absolutely. It just like expands your physical literacy, for lack of a better term, or I guess that's like a fancy way of just saying it expands your athleticism. But yeah, absolutely. I don't care what sport you're doing. Would you ever use heavy sandbags with your athletes, like above 2 or even 300 pounds? I use them all the time, but I'm curious what your thoughts are in a sporting context. Love the training sessions. Yeah, I'm a proponent of using sandbags. I guess the only issue with sandbags, it's not even an issue, but like a limitation of a sandbag is like incremental loading. And like access to them. If you have access to them, absolutely. If I had access to them, I'd probably use them, but I don't have access to them, so I don't. You can come up with a lot of ways to use sandbags. You can sort of Olympic lift with sandbags. You can clean, you can snatch them, you can throw them overhead. There's a lot of ways to incorporate sandbags if you have access to them. Like I said, the only limitation is lack of incremental loading for them, which if that's not a problem for you, then it's not a problem for you. Do you believe that breathing drills and focusing on rib cage expansion can provide a worthwhile stimulus in any capacity, like from David Gray? Short answer is no. I don't know David Gray. The people that I know that know David Gray say he's awesome and he's a really good dude. But a lot of that stuff's honestly kind of boring to me, and I can't consume that kind of content and be interested in it. But yeah, I think any sort of breathing drill, any sort of drill that's like making you focus on like your pelvis orientation, your rib cage, any of that kind of stuff, I think, is probably unlikely to provide a worthwhile stimulus, barring some sort of like serious physical ailment that an individual might be experiencing. So, for most people, I'd rather just train hard. Not saying that David Gray isn't a proponent of training hard. I know he is, but yeah, I would never prescribe anybody some sort of breathing drills. Like, I remember probably back in like 2016, 2017, 2018, there was this popular drill of like breathing into a balloon, laying on your back in kind of like this dead bug position, and you breathe in and out of a balloon. And that was supposed to, I don't know exactly what it was supposed to do, but make your respiratory system more efficient, I guess, something like that. And I used to look at that and like, what are people doing? And that kind of stuff infiltrated like sports performance and strength conditioning for a while. And I see no use for any of that stuff. Another set here at 140. I'll do one more set here. All right, let's squat. I'm gonna do my first set at 405. The warm-ups felt okay on my hamstring. This is probably gonna be a good working weight. Probably right where I should be. I'll go up a little bit for set two, but that felt good on my hamstring. So is your high bar squat a conscious choice over low bar, or is that just what you feel comfortable with? It's definitely conscious. It's definitely what I feel most comfortable with, but you'll see as I start to get heavier, like you watch my really heavy sets, at least my squat pattern turns into more of a low bar, which everybody's squat pattern turns into more of a low bar squat when it gets heavy. But like you watch those heavier sets, I'll start to shift that bar down to more of a lower bar position, but I hate the low bar position. It's just so uncomfortable cranking your arms back that far and having to have your hands so wide. I don't really like that feeling. So yeah, high bar is a conscious choice for me. But as I get heavy, it turns into a low bar, the squat pattern and the bar position. This is a good question. This is from my conditioning is more than matching work to rest ratio video. Do you really need more than practice to condition for football though? I feel like gassers in that situation when you probably need to work on my independent qualities is inefficient. So I'm just going to give you my experience with football. So I played football in college. I played a little bit professionally, but the first few weeks, and I talk about this in my ebook, Season Strength. But the first few weeks of the season, you're in shape, but you're kind of out of shape because you haven't like played a 3-hour long game. So the first few weeks, you're using that time to kind of get into shape. And then midway through the season, you get to about halfway, like week four through week 9, maybe week 4 through week 10, maybe. And your conditioning is good because practice has been at a high intensity. You're getting a lot of reps. Practice is going for little under 2 hours. The work to rest ratio in practice is pretty similar to what it is in the game. Maybe the team does a little bit of conditioning work like in training sessions or after practice, but then near the end of the season, the last few weeks of the season, my conditioning always got so much worse because practice time was shorter, practice reps were less intense, just like the training was a lot less intense, less volume, less intensity, less density. So my conditioning always got worse, and I felt like I was in way worse shape at the end of the season. Sure, some of that could be due to just like wear and tear on the body. It's a long season, you just get broken down a little bit. But my conditioning was worse end of season, so I stray a little bit from like mainstream strength conditioning here that I think you should be conditioning in season, especially you should crank the conditioning up, especially in the last few weeks of a football season. So that's my opinion. I talk about it more in my Season Strength ebook. So if you want to hear more elaborate thoughts on that, go check that out. But yeah, I'm a huge advocate for speed work in season. I'm a huge advocate for just training hard in season, whether that's lifting, whether that's Olympic lifts, whether it's sprinting and plyos, and even conditioning. I'm a huge proponent of that during season. So I put 415 on for the second set of 8. This will be my last one, regardless of how it goes. 365. Damn, that was good. Any downside to separating lifting and explosive work on separate days? No downside at all. That's what I do. I do my sprints and plyos all on one day without any lifting, and then my lifting on separate days. Hey, Will, I've never seen you do any isolated tricep training. Do you think this has ever limited your bench progress when you were more of a novice lifter? When I was more of a novice lifter, definitely not, because I was a novice lifter. Novice lifters don't really have a shouldn't make an absolute statement here, but yeah, novice lifters typically don't have any limitations that are due to like specific muscle groups, like a smaller muscle group that's going to limit their ability to do like compound exercises. So not when I was a novice lifter. Now I rarely do any sort of isolated arm training, but if I do, it's going to be like a lying triceps extension, and I do it like the starting strength Mark Ripito style, where I get my shoulder involved in it. So you've probably seen me do that before, but that's pretty much all of the isolated arm movements that I do. On occasion, I'll do some curls, but I don't do a lot of that stuff. Back off triple here at 325, I think. Second back off set at 335 here. I hit 260 for a double like a month and a half ago, like 6 weeks ago, so I'm just going to say it's 275, so I'll go 70 or 75% off of that. AMRAP set at 195 here. Yeah, I'll do one more set at lighter weight. I think I got 8 reps there. I have not done a lot of overhead pressing behind the neck like this. I do kind of like the different feeling it provides. It's weird that you don't have to like get your head out of the way of the bar path, so I do kind of like that. But I mean, it's a lot harder, that's for sure. That's all I got, guys. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it.